Hey there, fathers and sons. Today we're going to be reading together Proverbs chapter 10. Now, if you've been going through this series with your dad, with your son, with a men's group, hopefully older men, younger men, I hope that so far you've been reading the proverb together, just getting into the word and then talking about it. Well, today we're starting a new section in the book of Proverbs. The first section were chapters 1 through 9. The next section in the book of Proverbs covers chapters 10 through 22. These are called the Proverbs of Solomon, and these are just going to be a bunch of great, thoughtful little one-liners. And so for these chapters, I want to make sure that, yes, you read this chapter together with your men's group, with your father, with your son. And then I want to make sure that you come to the table and be ready to talk about the one verse in each chapter in these next 12 chapters that really jumps out at you. Talk about the one you want to talk about and briefly explain why. And every week I'll do the same thing and I'll sort of model how to do this. And my verse for chapter 10 is verse 19. It says, "Too much talk leads to sin. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut." All right, little confession time for me. When I was a young man, I always felt like I talked a little bit too much. I had a friend, his name was Bobby, and Bobby hardly ever said anything. And actually, what I noticed about him is I was kind of jealous of him because he didn't get in trouble because of his words. And I was one of those kids that always had something to say. And so I spoke a lot. And that means a lot of times I wish I hadn't. I wished I was a little bit more like Bobby, because too much talk leads to sin. I think it's important, especially for young men who are a little bit maybe too talkative, to be sensible and keep your mouth shut. Now, that doesn't mean you should never talk. You should never share your feelings or try to give wisdom or instruction to someone else. But I think the rule of thumb is to listen more than you speak. Remember, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Do the math. I think that means we should talk a little bit less. That's what verse 19 says to me. Why don't you talk about it with your men's group? Make sure to pick your favorite verse out and why it jumps out at you.